Let's cut across to our correspondent Anirudh Ghosh, who is with Deputy Governor of the RBI, K.C. Chakrabarti.
Sir, thank you for joining us on Niti Now. So I'd like to start by asking about the most topical thing at this point in time in the banking sector, about the new bank licenses that have been drawn up by the RBI. You all have decided to allow all entities, despite the draft guidelines actually saying that people in real estate and broking wouldn't be allowed. If you could just give us a rationale behind that.
You see, rationale maybe that, you see, I don't know whether it is proper to indicate whom should allow whom not, because broking and real estate is a legitimate activity. But our concern remains wherever the income stream is volatile or the business model is something not very conducive for banking, those restrictions remain. Even it happened with any other company, we have to look into that. That's the thing. So that's the idea, is that only that what are the concerns of the regulator that has been articulated, even for the broking houses or the people who invest in the real estate. And then it is a committee and it will take a view on that based on the business model. And accordingly, even earlier, up to less than 10% income, it was allowed.
So also in terms of...
I don't think there is a basic change in the stance. Is that in that?
So also in terms of the entry of corporates into the sector, if at all a corporate house is given the license, how does the RBI ensure that there aren't any cross linkages, any lending to the promoter holding, given the kind of fungibility of money at this point in time?
You see, look, basically what has happened, we said that it cannot go to the promoter holding. And second thing, even otherwise also if the money goes, how are you going to do that? The issue is that your regulation supervision has to be strengthened. The tools have to be strengthened. We are going for risk-based supervision now. So regulation will be more tighter. But we cannot say that then who will invest 500 crores, 1,000 crores in the capital money? Who has the money? You have to look into in the overall perspective. And if the corporate can invest for a mutual fund, can invest for a life insurance company, can invest for a finance company, I don't think we can just say that they cannot invest in the bank. You see, this is not, logically it does not stand correct. Then why should he invest in a life insurance company? That is also public saving. But we have to put the safeguard that banking system, bank is not misused, and bank is not put into the risk because of the corporate house activity. And I think sufficient safeguard has been taken to these fit and proper criteria, then appropriate regulation, connected lending guidelines. Those are all will be put into the place. Already they are in the place. Maybe if need be, they will be extended.
Fair enough. Also, there are a huge number of hopefuls at this point of time. How many licenses realistically should one assume that the RBI could take?
It is very difficult at this stage. You see, very difficult. You see, we have to examine first the business model. There may be 100 people aspirant, whether they qualify, fit and proper criteria, business criteria, all has to be sent. And after that, when you shortlist that how many are really qualified, then only the question comes. If only 3 qualifies or 1 qualifies, you will give him. So issue is that at this stage it is too premature to say how many banks will be allowed. Unless we see and examine how many people are actually eligible who pass the threshold test, then the question will arise that if 50 is passing the threshold test, all the criteria they are fulfilling, then is it a need to rationate? That's the thing. It is very difficult at this stage to say.
But would it be fair to assume that only serious players which could actually further the RBI's cause of financial inclusion would be really in a strong position to get this license?
So definitely serious players and those who are having the ability to demonstrate that they have a robust model for implementing the financial inclusion, and definitely they have an edge.
The other thing is the budgets around the corner. The banking system has been really clamoring for some kind of SOPs in terms of deposits, and especially they've been asking for some kind of preferential treatment as far as the taxes on deposits are concerned. Do you think that this is a fair demand at this point of time?
No, you see, look, that is not my job. Why should I think? It is, you have to ask the question to Finance Minister, and he is not going to reply before 28. Which is not my job. Why should I speculate about that?
Right. So also in terms of, the RBI has been very vocal about the fact that the government needs to get its fiscal house in order. We've seen a few announcements already which the RBI has taken into cognizance. But going forward, how important will this budget be in terms of the RBI formulating its rate action?
You see, look, all budgets are good, provided it is implemented. When you see the budget, you will see what RBI has to do, and you have to implement it. I don't see any budget is bad. Budget becomes bad if we are not able to implement. Because there is a lot of thinking, analysis goes to preparation of a budget. You see, finance minister is meeting the people from January onwards. So many people are working on that. Now, the key is that I personally believe once the budget is announced, we have to examine what Reserve Bank has to do, and we have to work out an action plan. And that then we must implement.